Guys, this is the Ghost Gamer, and I'd like to apologize for the delay this time around. However, I finally caught up with James Gunn Superman, which was still premiering in its first week. I'll tell you a bit more about the story. It's been 3 years since Superman, played by David Corenswet, has announced himself to the world. As the movie starts, Superman by now has made friends and enemies. And by enemies, I mean he surely must have had plenty of run ins with Lex Luthor. Superman's alter ego, Clark Kent, is already in a relationship with Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan. Also, she knows his secret. In the current day scenario, Superman stops the nation of Boravia from invading their neighbors, Jarhanpur, and warns their president, Vasil Gurkos, to leave it alone. However, Superman is beaten by the Hammer of Boravia and retreats, and is later rescued by Krypto the Superdog. Superman's robots help him heal and also play a damaged message from his parents Jor-El and Lara Lor-Van. Superman returns to Metropolis only to be beaten by the Hammer of Boravia again. This time, we learn that the Hammer of Boravia is secretly none other than Ultraman, who is also more secretly a clone. Luthor unleashes a kaiju on Metropolis City to ensure Superman is kept busy while he infiltrates his Fortress of Solitude. While Superman fights the kaiju, we are introduced to some really unimportant characters like the Justice Gang, comprising of the Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific. Back at the Fortress of Solitude, Lex learns of the damaged message from Superman's parents and fixes it with the help of the engineer. In the complete message, Superman's parents ask him to restore the Kryptonian race by taking on more wives and living like a god on the planet Earth. Back at the Fortress of Solitude, Superman learns that Krypto has been kidnapped and his place has been trashed like anything. Even while facing severe backlash from general public, Superman channels his inner John Wick and confronts Lex Luthor about Krypto, which is understandable and the only move or emotion in the movie that I really felt close with. After this, Superman surrenders to the US government, who happily hands him over to Lex Luthor since they do not have any resources to handle Superman. Luthor, the sweet Samaritan that he is, locks Superman in his personal pocket universe with another metahuman called Metamorpho, who turns into Kryptonite since he is blackmailed by Luthor. In the city, Lois convinces Mr. Terrific to help her rescue Superman, which they do, but not before Superman himself rescues Crypto, Metamorpho, and his son Joey. Superman is taken to his home, where he has a small pep talk from his father Jonathan that reminds him of his humanity. Luthor's girlfriend, who is secretly infatuated with Jimmy Olsen, gets tired of Lex's unbearable toxic behavior and gives Jimmy his secrets. While Luthor is imprisoning his girlfriend for giving his secrets away, he also nonchalantly opens a rift in the pocket universe that will end up splitting Metropolis in half, only to lure Superman back to the city. At the same time, the Boravians start to invade Jarhanpur, and Superman is called to help there as well. Here is the first and the only time Luthor succeeds, since Superman returns to Metropolis to fight Ultraman and sends the Justice Gang to Jarhanpur to stop the invasion. This is where we learn Ultraman is played by none other than David Corenswet. Of course, since Ultraman is a clone of Superman. In the end, Crypto saves the day and gets to chase evil monkeys. Also, Superman and Lois share a kiss, and the movie ends with a cameo from Superman's cousin. Here's my review for the movie. Superman is not a movie about Superman. There, I said it out and loud. It's a movie about Lex Luthor and his unhealthy obsession, or rather hatred, towards Superman. In this movie, Luthor tries to get richer while negating the only obstacle that might hamper his ambition to purchase new real estate. That's Superman. In my opinion, David Corenswet does amazingly awesome as Clark Kent, but surely is lackluster as Superman. In fact, Superman kind of feels like a secondary character in Lex Luthor's story, and Corenswet does not look like a hero who would also be called the Man of Steel. James Gunn's Superman seems to be Canadian, to be honest, because he's simply that good, polite, always apologetic, and kind of a pushover. James, these qualities does not make him human, but only makes him look like maybe a simpleton from a bygone era who's wearing his large undergarments in the wrong way. Needless to say, Gunn has not really earned a fan in me. I will also state that me voicing my opinion will not make a difference to Gunn's bank balance, so I will get on with the rest of my review. Rachel Brosnahan does really good as Lois Lane and seems like a fresh take on the same character that we have seen earlier across television and movies. Nathan Fillion, who is one of my favorite actors, has done well, but he certainly does not do justice to the character of Guy Gardner. There are two characters, according to me, who deserve a solo movie of their own. One would definitely be Mr. Terrific, played by Edai Gathegi, and then would be Crypto the Superdog, who has stolen the entire show in the movie. For me, that is all for Superman. Thank you, everybody. This is the Ghost Gamer signing off.